Riley Gaines posted this one saying in Nashville, an illegal an 11-year-old girl, and she gave birth to his baby at 12. Notice his inmate information lists him as white. This is actually pretty interesting because just the other day, we went to the DMV or tax collector or wherever they do driver's licenses now. And clearly, this young man here is not what you would consider to be white. However, as my daughter was getting her permit, her driver's permit, one of the questions was, what ethnicity do you choose? Or race, or however they wanted to word it and phrase it. And literally it was her choice. So not sure whose choice this one was. Maybe it was his. Maybe it was the prison systems. Maybe it was an error, clerical, maybe. But clearly it's not quite what it seems. It's not what we're used to. It just doesn't seem right. Just something seems off. Something seems odd, right?
Olivia Munn, she's an actress. She's got it. And I think she speaks for a lot of us when she's trying to espouse why so many on the left and the right had a visceral reaction to this.
Like, what are you guys going to do up in space? What are you doing up there? I mean, it's, by the way,
they're going for 11 minutes. They're going for 11 minutes.
So,
they're going up. I think they're going to float around a little and then
you're
come
on
back.
like Magic Mountain. Like you're just going up
Space Mountain. More appropriately, Space Mountain.
Space Mountain. Think about, I know this is probably obnoxious, but like it's so much money to go to space.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
and there's a lot of people who can't even afford eggs. I think it's a bit
Over the
gluttonous,
top,
and
yeah.
I just think there are, the cover of Elle magazine.
I know.
I mean, like, isn't that, I don't know. Space exploration was to further our knowledge
Yeah.
and to help mankind. I mean, what are they going to do up there that has made it better for us down here?
Absolutely nothing. I'll give you one more. Model Emily Ratajkowski.
That's quite an interesting perspective shared here by Olivia Munn, just saying people can't afford eggs, which, hear me out, folks, this could be twofold here. But essentially, I came across a video this morning. YouTube shared it with me, and it's this one right here from Dennis Jerome Jr., and he says, dashing and received a 50-cent tip. Angry emoji. These loser customers are out of control. And I haven't watched the video. I haven't seen it, but it does make me wonder. Maybe it's because people can't afford the food that they're actually ordering to DoorDash, let alone on top of it, be able to tip you reasonably well for this job of delivery. And Olivia Munn is saying, you know, there's people who can't afford eggs, and we're wasting billions of dollars to send these astronauts on a ride near outer space. If it even really went down the way they say it did, because there's a lot of evidence to prove otherwise. The reason why this video stood out to me the most is because I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, well, Dennis Jerome Jr. has 14,000 subscribers. He's made over 1,500 videos, and he's relatively consistent, yet his views are down drastically. And I would imagine that part of this, one, doing it because doing DoorDash is to earn income and revenue, and making YouTube videos is probably the same. Not to get too distracted and sidetracked on this video, but there are better ways at earning additional money, earning money in general, and better yet, improving your YouTube channel to get more views. But at the end of the day, the bottom line is make more money. And if you find yourself in that situation, then let's have a talk. Let's have a chat. Okay, this is what I do on a regular basis. And one of the things that I notice here that I like is relatively strong consistency. that's usually the hardest part, is just getting started and continuing to press record and make videos and upload. What's most important after that is determining the best strategy, who YouTube is going to associate you with, and your message will resonate the best with the audience, and then from there scaling.
Who did a little Instagram post after the fact.
Space mission this morning. That's end time shit. Like, this is beyond parody. Saying that you care about Mother Earth and it's about Mother Earth, and you're going up in a spaceship that is built and paid for by a company that's single-handedly destroying the planet. Look at the state of the world and think about how many resources went into putting these women into space. For what? For what was the marketing there? And then to try to make it like, I'm disgusted. Literally, I'm disgusted.
She's raised a good point. Where's Greta Thunberg? Where's her protest on how many carbon emissions we had to suffer just so that Gail could be proud of herself?
Boy, is it a tough time to be a podcaster or anybody who's creating content these days, especially if you have a woke audience. And with that being said, we have to talk about Drew and Enya. Two podcasters are up on the chopping block for cancellation this week because they decided to tell a joke about none other than Greta Thunberg on their podcast.
How dare you!
I guess we can add Saint Greta to the list of things that you're apparently not able to joke about anymore. And with that being said, let's listen to the joke and see what we think. And it's on the chopping block because on their most recent episode, they decided to talk about none other than Greta Thunberg. And they made a joke about Greta Thunberg falling off. She's sort of fallen into obscurity in her activism. And where is this girl at?
But what was I saying? Oh yeah, Greta Thunberg fell off. Bitches in the gutter. Her legacy being lesbian, and I shouldn't be up here. The thing is so perfectly what's wrong with everything in this world, because like she literally was that girl. She was like fighting for climate change.
Her saying she shouldn't be up there, like, you're right. You should be in school, and your parents kind of suck for not letting you just go to school and be fucking normal. Like, go to school, be normal, and then you can like. But poor girl, she was fighting for a cause that she felt so strong for.
I think she's still fighting for it, but in like 20 years she'll probably
fighting
be
where? Because I don't see her.
Wait, can she be president?
Can she? I think you have to be like a certain age, and you have to be born in the U.S. to be the president.
She just didn't want to go to school. That's why she did that. Yeah, she was skipping class. Josiah said she didn't want to be in school. She did all that, like me faking sick to get out of class, me faking to be a climate change activist to skip class. Wait, that's low-key a method.
Claiming to be a martyr for a cause after finding out about what's her name? The one
Casey
girl.
Anthony?
No, the one girl who she learned how to read and it was illegal, and she never. I guess she kind of fell off.
Olivia Wilde reposted an image of Katy Perry kissing the ground. Honestly, truly, she was acting like she got back from Apollo 13.
I'm just so excited to keep learning about STEM and astrology and astronomy and pastrami and STEM. I'm just so full of love. I went to space and I liked it. So full of love. Space gives me love. I love STEMs. I just hope people understand that we weren't just taking up space, but we were making space and inventing space and holding space. I'm just so full of love that now, because I've gone to space, women can go to space. And in another life, I'd be an astronaut. This is just gonna change the space game for women who have never been to space.
Katy! Woo! Katy! Woo!
Kissing the rat, and she captioned it, $1 billion bought some good memes, I guess. Here was Amy Schumer doing her own version of making fun of these women. Watch.
Guys, last second, they added me to space, and I'm going to space. I'm bringing this thing, It has no meaning to me, but it was in my bag, and I was like on the subway, and I got the text, and they were like, do you want to go to space? So I'm going to space, and thank you to everyone who got me here, and I'll see you guys in space.
Nailed it. She's mocking them, very heartily mocking them. Kesha mocked them. I mean, like, that's what gets them upset. That's why Gail did that little, we're inspirational and we're astronauts. I am Alan Shepard video.
And you will see a puff of smoke when it touches down, a puff of dust.
Actually, yes,
that's normal.
A puff of dust, last milliseconds, air cushion that will kick up the dust. It's a very soft landing despite the sporty perception. There it is.
Touchdown. Congratulations and welcome back to Earth. Do status check. Double shot.
Ouch. That was rough. You know those gals got rocked after being brought back down to earth.
They weren't kidding, folks. Senator Van Hollen is in El Salvador right now to fight for illegal alien Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Guess who's paying for it? You are. The Democrat care, concern, outrage, and advocacy from Democrats all over the spectrum, by the way, over an illegal alien especially is appalling when you consider these same folks couldn't so much as be bothered to stand up for the family of Laken Riley or Jocelyn Nungary or Rachel Morin for that matter. Yes, Senator Van Hollen of Maryland is traipsing to a foreign country for an illegal alien who is technically not even his legal constituent, but could not be bothered to console the family of his actual constituent, Rachel Morin, who was raped and murdered by an illegal alien gang member. You know, we can have a dialogue about the legality of this Garcia deportation. I don't mind having that conversation. I really don't. I understand it's sticky. But for Democrats to get so bent out of shape and so activated in their pursuit of illegal alien rights, whatever those are, is just really telling. I've never seen them get this upset over the American citizens or assaulted by illegal aliens. Not ever. Not once. So while Van Hollen and Cory Booker have their little Shawshank Redemption moment, I hope the American people can see it clearly and hear it loudly. This is what Democrats care about. They stood idly by as our nation was invaded, and now they're going quite literally to the ends of the earth to bring back the ones Trump sent to their home. Wow. Just wow.
Do you think the Trump administration is defying a court order?
It certainly appears that they are, and they're trying to play too cute with parsing words. The court has ordered the return of this person and that the Trump administration should do it. They're paying an authoritarian leader in El Salvador to hold people in the worst imaginable types of prisons that he has sent there without any due process. And this isn't just about Mr. Garcia. This is about every American understanding that this president is making an assault on the due process rights that are afforded to people in our country. Everybody from Anton Scalia to other conservative think tanks have said very clearly, you cannot disappear people off American streets. We are a nation of rules, and due process is clearly one of them. And to erode the due process rights of anyone is a threat to the due process rights of everyone. This is a democratic slippage, and we all should be speaking out against it.
Cory Booker, most notably known for blowing it out of his ass and talking, running his mouth for hours without actually saying anything worthwhile or of any real importance. Now, how many times can we list here? I need you guys' help on this one, where Democrats have gone out of their way to prove that they don't give two shits about America and real Americans just solely to undermine President Trump. Yeah, that's right. Democrats love criminals. Democrats love terrorists. They love disaster and destruction of this country more than they actually love Americans. This speaks volumes.
J.B. Pritzker, his wife, and his brother-in-law are now under federal criminal investigation. They allegedly used toilets to avoid taxes. Governor Pritzker purchased this mansion in Chicago back in 2007. It remained vacant for years. According to the Chicago Tribune, all the toilets were removed from the home in October 2015. Doing that allowed the home to be classified as uninhabitable. It changed the property assessment value from $6 million to $1 million. Pritzker profited about $330,000 between tax breaks and tax savings. Today, he maintained that he followed the rules.
I'm very confident that any review of this matter will show that all the rules were followed. Last October, my opponents raised this issue, and it became a political subject last October.
The governor says he has not been contacted by any law enforcement. Back in October, the governor pledged to repay that.
So the same crimes that they accused and convicted President Trump of are in fact the same crimes that they are committing themselves.
And you know what it is. Tweet A, tapping in. Anybody who fuck with me, fuck with my music, you gotta fuck with Carmelo Anthony, man. Justice for my dog. Website coming soon. You gotta tap in, man. Yeah.
But if JB Pritzker and Democrats are that hard up for money, then they could easily just start a small business or side hustle like selling merch, t-shirts. It's no secret how easy print-on-demand side businesses are to get going, right? Or start a YouTube channel. Now, this one here, I mean, absolutely insane when you think about it from the standpoint and perspective of you're leveraging the marketing opportunity by way of more than likely an illegal trademark infringement of using the likeness, if not exact photo and face of Carmelo Anthony, a murderer, without a shadow of a doubt. It's just a matter of was it self-defense or not, to sell t-shirts. I don't know what's worse. Making the t-shirts and selling them and profiting off of this tragedy, or buying the t-shirts and spending the money on them and then wearing them to support this travesty. Did you guys see the one Benny Johnson put up on his community post? If you haven't seen it, I'll show it to you. Make it make sense is what Benny Johnson said yesterday. And he put this up from Kyle Rittenhouse. It says, so the left thinks what Carmelo Anthony did was self-defense, but what I did wasn't? Can someone please help this make sense?
So there's a lot of issues here. There's number one is the Virginia residences, the phantom mortgages, the intention to occupy another residence as a primary residence. There's the Brooklyn property whereby she represents it's 1 to 4 units in all of the mortgage documents, but it's really 5 units. There's the Department of Buildings that gave her a pass, which is inexplicable. And there's another issue that wasn't covered in the Justice Department's referral letter. I found that in the year 2021 to 2022, she made 6 or 7 trips with a private jet carrier called Venture Jets. Now, New York State has this big checkbook thing that you can go back to 2014, look up any vendor, any transaction when New York State reimbursed money. It's from the Officer of the Controller's Office. Now, what happens is she was the only one in the history of New York City as far back that used Venture Jets. And a few of the trips overlapped. With campaign events that she was at. Now, after New York State stopped paying for her Venture Jets, her campaign started paying for Venture Jets. So that's another thing that I'm sure the FBI will be investigating.
So she was using public funds to campaign, which is illegal.
Possibly, yes.
Okay.
Listen, the other stuff, the mortgage stuff is a slam dunk. The documents exist. The other stuff is, we will see. I have filed for a FOIL request, but there's too many coincidences that makes it, let's put it this way, it smells like fire.
And this is what you would call a hedge. AG Big Tish hedged her bet that President Trump would be taken down or taken out before she got caught. And the misuse of taxpayer funds for campaign expenses is exactly the same thing that Kamala Harris did. You guys remember when she was flying around on Air Force Two and JD Vance was like, hey, you better clean that plane up and get it ready because I'm taking it. You cannot convince me she wasn't spending taxpayer money to fly the VP's jet for her campaign. Okay? You see what I'm saying here? And to make matters even worse, Elon Musk posted this one, and I'm gonna leave you guys with this. Let it marinate. He says twice as many credit cards are issued and active than the total number of government employees. Crazy. How? Why? Make that make sense, okay? And I don't know. I didn't verify this one. I just saw this one super early this morning and I saved it because I was like, man, this is a good one here. I don't know the legalities of it. I don't know the ins and out of it, but I will show it to you guys and let me know what you think. Elon for governor. A while ago, a friend called with a genius idea, says Mr. Reagan. Elon Musk, governor of California. He can Doge California. Elon is the only one who can beat the cheat in California. I just signed the petition. Join me and let's get Elon's attention. If you like the video, subscribe. Check out the links down below in the description. I look forward to reading all your comments and seeing you guys here on the next one.